All right, I want to give a brief overview of the BumperBands 30. These are bands that I specifically designed for the 30-minute time frame to work across cryptos and stocks. And the way the bands work is they analyze price action and try to catch the lows for an entry and the highs for an exit. So these specifically are for long trades. I am working on some short strategies, specifically more for the hour time frame, and I'm working on some user bands that users can kind of have a bit more optionality. But those are in the future, they're in the works. For now, I wanted to get some trading strategies and these bands into the hands of people that are wanting to build some long strategies fairly easily, fairly simply, and that seem, in my experience, to have been actually very profitable and great to use. So I'm looking at the chart for Bitcoin, US dollar on the index. We'll jump through a lot of different cryptos and some stocks to kind of show how these bands work across the board. And the only two indicators I'm using are the BumperBands, which I am just opening up the subscription to for the first time. And this subscription specifically is for the BumperBands 30. I also will have a subscription to some other time frames and to some short strategies. But this video is focusing on the 30-minute time frame, and I'm looking at the BBWP as well here. So the BBWP is a free indicator on TradingView, and the idea behind this strategy is the BBWP slope, the moving average, which is a white line here. Slope has to be negative, and price has to close below the support bumper and above the resistance bumper for entry and for exit. All right, so let's kind of jump into the strategy. This strategy does not trade on Sundays, so you can see I have Sundays, the whole day of Sunday taken out, and so it won't take a trade on Sunday. Like I said before, there's the BBWP. Moving average has to be negative, and then the bumper bands, price closes less than or equal to support bumper for entry and greater than or equal to resistance bumper for exit. And the third thing is risk. So risk right here is set at 25 and 13 for the emergency stop risk, and the max stop loss is 12. Max take profit is 5. I would definitely recommend for your own strategies and for optimizing going in and looking at these per asset and per exchange. Again, this is I don't know if I mentioned this before, but this is built in the Crown skeleton key. So the skeleton key basically allows you to build a strategy and see the results for the past history, and to see where trades would enter and exit, and to automate the trades. So if you want the Crown skeleton key, that is a different service, and I will put a link in the description below for that. But it's a great tool. I personally use it to automate trades and to build trading strategies. All right, so let's look at the full history of, actually first, let's look at the buy and hold. So this is the recent buy and hold since trade 1 was on 2022, January of 2022, and the last trade is recent here, right here, in June of 2024. All right, and obviously Bitcoin recently has been going through a pretty rocky period, and the strategy's kind of been holding sideways, maybe making some slight gains, but there will be periods of time where the strategy holds sideways or takes some losses, so be mentally prepared for that. But let's look at the entire history of Bitcoin on the index. And so, yeah, you can see trading the strategy since day 1 of Bitcoin, it would have been obviously very, very profitable in the first few years of Bitcoin. Not quite realistic to where we are today, because Bitcoin is not nearly making the same gains that it used to. But you can see it's made slow and steady gains across the board. So that's the whole power behind trading strategies, and using the BumperBands tool is to make slow and steady gains over time and negate your risk for too much downside, though there will be absolutely risk to the downside. All right, let's look at some other cryptos. Let's look at ETH real fast. Again, the exact same settings. You can definitely optimize this more, and while we're at it, let's go ahead and try to optimize it. Perhaps for ETH on, let's just do Binance for fun. So we'll look at the results for the strategy as is on Binance, and then we'll make a couple really small adjustments. All right, so, looks pretty good across the board right there. Let's put this on high, BBWP on high. So we're kind of optimizing it for this specific exchange and pairing. And let's put the BBWP on negative flat. So you can see it's 129 without it being negative flat. I made it negative flat. Let's see where it's at. It might help it, it might not. It'll definitely give you a few more trades, and you can use 121. So it actually is a little bit, I do think that the curve is better, the equity curve, and it gives you some more trades, which will allow you to use other indicators to optimize the trading strategy even more, because 1,000 trades is quite a few trades. That's a lot of trades. So let's look at over here a more optimized trading strategy, and I will post this trading strategy and others that I have optimized for you to learn from, for you to take tips from. If you want to copy it, you're welcome to, but I advise you just to do your own thing. So this is Bitcoin USDT, perpetuals on Bybit, more optimized strategy. So you can see here, the equity curve is a lot more smooth. It's slow and steady to the right, whereas back here, it's a lot more bumpy, right? So your net profit is a little bit better. Less trades, less total trades, because I use some indicators to help filter out some more trades. But again, it's all based around these bands, and it just happens to be really strong. And let's look at the full history of Bitcoin on Bybit. Does great. It does really well across the full history since 2020. All right, let's look at let's look at maybe XRP. Why not? XRP, USD. Let's look at Binance. We'll just jump through a few here. And again, I'm choosing a few that work pretty well with this really basic template. I will post some more optimized results. So yeah, with what XRP has done, which is basically gone sideways, this trading strategy and the BumperBands trade it pretty well. Let's look at the same Binance, and then we'll look at DOGE and see what it does with DOGE. Then we'll look at Solana, then we'll jump to some stocks. So yeah, DOGE just has gone sideways and down. This trading strategy made some great gains over the time periods. All right, we'll look at this on, so this is actually a strategy that it's close to a strategy I trade. I will post a little bit more optimized version of it. But let's look at Solana here real fast. I'm going to make a couple adjustments to this strategy. I want to see. So 137, you can see the chart is kind of rocky, and there's some time periods it just goes sideways. So let's just make some quick adjustments here. I'm not going to have any stop loss on right now, though I would recommend it in the future, having some kind of stop loss. Let's see. I'm going to look at my notes here. All right, I'm going to change the BBWP to, you can see 184. So it's already starting to look a lot better. The chart still has some periods where it kind of goes down, and I try to avoid that because that's going to be a part of your trading strategy. If you have a period of time where it has hundreds of trades of going sideways, you're just going to have to be prepared for that. So generally, over net gain, I will take a strategy that has slow and steady gains, and generally trends up and to the right. So let's look at a couple things here. Wow, okay, that's already way better. 221, that's kind of nuts. It still does have a period of time where it goes sideways. And I'll post some specifics to this. I'm kind of shooting off the top of my head right now. I don't remember exact settings, but I do have a killer Solana chart that I will post. But this video is more, I want to encourage people to use these bands to create trading strategies of their own. Okay, yeah, so that's starting to get a lot better and slow. You can see there is periods of sideways, but it kind of generally trends up. It'll trend back down and then trend up to the right. So this is and you can see the buy and hold. Like, that is just crazy how good it is against the buy and hold. All right, let's jump into some stocks here real fast. Apple. Now, this doesn't even use the BBWP. When I'm trading stocks, generally, I just have literally the BumperBands, entry and exit, and some risk here. Some risk, max stop loss, max take profit are a little bit more optimized for Apple, and it doesn't trade on Fridays. And that's literally it for the Apple chart. Here's an example on NVDA. Again, literally just what a great chart. Obviously, NVIDIA's done really well recently, so a little bit of biased results there. But BumperBands and some risk, max stop loss, max take profit. Now let's look at a few other things. Let's maybe look at, this is going to be just unoptimized versions of these charts, but let's look at Tesla and maybe Microsoft, and then we'll wrap it all up. Actually, not bad for, for not optimized. All right, Microsoft. I wonder why that's showing up like that. There we go. That's what I want. All right. Let's look at Microsoft real fast, and then we'll wrap it up. I wanted to look at the full history of ETH, but that's all right. All right, so here we go. Microsoft, again, another great chart. It just built on these really fundamental strategy numbers. I would definitely recommend optimizing these. All right, I'm just going to wrap it up right there. I hope you guys have enjoyed this quick tutorial and overview of the BumperBands. I will post some updated strategies as I create them for the BumperBands, but yeah, these are really built for users to make their own strategies and trade as they see fit. So hope you guys enjoy.